Hey guys, it's Jeff. This is going to be part 9 of the Das Werk 8.8 centimeter off 9T VOMAG 1/35 scale. I've got a lot of parts cut out here to work with. I've been kind of spending the morning just figuring out how parts fit in relationship to each other. Nigel did a video yesterday and he basically covered what I'm going to be doing today. Nigel's modeling bench. So if you want to go see what he did, I'll leave a link in the description to his channel. But I'm going to do it ever so slightly different. Anyway, let's go to the instructions real quick, and then we'll take a look at the parts. Be right back, guys. Thanks. Okay, as usual, everything green is fitted. Everything yellow has been removed from the sprues. The engine is pretty much done. I'm leaving the fan and the fan belt off for painting purposes, and I haven't attached the exhaust manifold yet. I did drill the exhaust manifold and pinned it. I believe Nigel did that too, just to make it easier to connect things up later. I'm not going to actually glue the engine in yet. They want you to glue the engine and the radiator in. But the next part we're going to be working on is going to involve the radiator. So in 6, they want you to take these two parts, which is the sides of the hood. F2 goes above F10. It really doesn't show that very well in this picture. There's an overlap. F2 has a lip along the lower edge and it fits over F10. I haven't cut out all these little grab handles and things yet. That can be done once we kind of get things fitted. What I want to do is I want to have F10 and the corresponding part on the other side. Oh, there goes Jordan. I want to have F10 and the corresponding part on the other side glued to the radiator and to the firewall. Then I want to have F2 and the corresponding part on the other side glued to the hood, so that when I want to, I can actually lift the hood and the side parts off to see the engine. Let's go down a little bit here. Here's the one for the other side. So F9 I want to glue in place. F5 I want to have attached to the hood so it can all come off. This is also the steering arm, and I don't really want to fit the steering arm until I at least get the placement of the firewall, because I want to get that angle right. Okay, I've got the parts. I've got G11 and G14 cut off. I didn't mark those. Okay, I've also trimmed off some fenders. I trimmed off this and the one on the other side just to kind of check the fit. So D7 and the D8 are cut off, but we're not going to fit those yet. Here are the parts for the firewall, and I've trimmed all these off. I should mark them. I'm not going to necessarily fit them yet, but at least I've got them all cleaned up. But D14 goes on the front of B8. I haven't done anything with C30 yet. It's a little detail we'll mess with later. This, I think, is a piece of armor, and it'll just set over the hood. It's not really going to be part of the hood. But I want to attach those two upper parts of the fender, or the side curtains, I guess you would call it, for the hood. I want to attach those to this so that when I take them all, take the hood off, they come off too. It's going to be tricky. And then here's part of the floorboards inside. I've also already attached the C26s to C17. You can see the detail here. Okay. It's going to be at an angle. I don't know why they do this for sure, unless it's maybe got something to do with some running boards or something that we're going to add later. I don't know, but when they hang down. They don't touch the frame or anything. This is the way this goes together. We need to put, I'm not going to glue this on here. That's all going to stay loose so I can lift it off. But I'm going to glue this part into this, and then I'm going to attach this. Now on Nigel's video, he added some sheet styrene underneath this floor to support it, which I think's a really good idea. I was just sitting here thinking about what I wanted to do, and I just grabbed some pieces of sprue, and I cut a couple of pieces of sprue to the right length, and I glued them along this back edge. So the firewall will support the front of the floor here and here, and then later on, well, and then those two pieces of sprue will support it on the back until we get the this wall put on later on. Let's go down the bench and I'll try and be more clear about what I want to do, okay? Be right back. Okay, here are all the parts I've got cut out. This is the armored part that goes over the hood. So that I'm basically just going to paint and set on. Whoops. I'm not going to really attach it to anything. Here's the hood, and these are the side of the hood, and I want to glue those on. They kind of overlap. I want to glue them on like there, and make sure they're flush on the back or on the front. So because when I put the radiator in, it's just got a real fine little lip, like so. And I want it to line up, but I want to keep the hood to where I can lift it off. And then the lower part of the hood, I'm going to glue on right there. And this will stay. Reason being is that's the fender mount. This little groove right here is where the fenders mount. So I want to make sure that's a solid piece, because when I put these fenders on, there's a tab that glues to that. So these will need to stay in place. I can't take those off when I take the hood off. And here's the little pins I added. So when this all goes together, this will sit here. And this is the floorboard that'll go in here, and then this will go here. Okay, and that'll sit right here. That hole right there in the center, if you can see it, is supported goes right over the gear shift lever, and like that. Okay, so let's get these parts here put together, and then we'll figure out what we're going to do with the hood and things. Let me switch over to the other camera. Be right back. Okay, I'll try and keep this as clear as I can. I've got the engine all but finished over here, and I went ahead and glued the exhaust pipe together so I can paint it separately. There's two little pins on each side right here that locates the radiator. Okay, just like so. And then the hood will sit on top, and I want to be able to just leave the radiator in place but lift the hood off to see the engine. Let's scoot this back a little so I've got some more space. This is the back firewall, or the back of the cab. This is where the floor will sit, like this, once we get it all in place. But I'm not going to attach this yet. I want to keep that open to where I can do all the little foot pedals and all the gauges and all that stuff that need to be done in the cab first. And there's the little pins I glued on. They'll sit on the back of the frame just to give us a little support. So let's go ahead and glue this. I'm not sure just what this is. Supposed to be wiring or something. That'll go to the inside, and that's where the steering column comes through, that little hole right there. It's really hard for me to tell if we're in focus or not. Let's see here. That's going the wrong way. Guess that's a little better. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that to the inside, and we'll glue this here. Okay. There's going to be some boxes and stuff that we'll put on here later. For right now, I'm just kind of worried about the big pieces and getting them in place. Okay. I spent a lot of time yesterday playing around with the B17. I did basically the same thing. I cut all the big parts off and just kind of sit there and tried to figure out how everything went together and what areas are going to be painted and what areas are not. I did paint some small things like the pilot seat and the bombs and a few other things, but I didn't do anything really major. Not enough to really make a video. Okay. You can see there's all kinds of gauges and stuff in there that we're going to be dealing with. This is going to sit here, and it goes right above this. There's actually a little cutout here, and that'll set right above this little bar right there. Okay, let's see here. I'm going to try and put just a little glue on there first. Guess my wife's watching a movie. Hang on just a minute. Okay, I'm back. Had a little emergency there. The TV remote disappeared, so I had to go help look for it. Couple of tips real quick. When they glue this in, it needs to be flush on both sides. Don't let it get pushed in, or this part here won't fit. And I actually put this in just a little bit too high, and it wasn't fitting right, so I pushed it down. I've got a little glue here I need to clean up, but those parts that I glued on now match this angle across here. Okay, so that's the way they should look. And then we're going to glue in this, which has got just a real faint little lip right there, and that'll go right there like that. Okay, so we'll see if we can get that in. The connection points on this model are very, very tiny. Try not to get too much in the tread pattern there. You can always come along with a fiberglass pencil and do a little bit of cleaning later. I do it all the time, to make your joints and stuff look a little neater. Probably going to have to put some glue on the back side. See if I can hold this. Just give it a minute. Okay, see now those pins that I put on the back are the same level as these feet. So hopefully when I set it on the frame, which will be like this, it'll set level. Okay. I'm going to give this a few minutes to dry, and it should be even across the bottom there too. So I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'll come back and we'll see what we can do about getting the hood and stuff in place. Okay? See you in a few minutes. Thanks, guys. Okay, I'm back. This has been setting for an hour or so, so it should be pretty good. What I did was I took this and turned it upside down and set it on a 1, 2, 3 block, just to make sure that this was square. So we should be good. I've set the hood in place just to give you an idea of the spacing. It's all still loose. What I want to do, well, this will go back here, which I'm not going to attach yet. It's going to make painting all of this a lot easier if I don't have this. It'll go like so. Anyway, we'll get to that point soon. As you can see, this angle is kind of undefined. It's just loose right now, but when I put these on, this will give us our angle to square everything up. So what I want to do is I want to glue, there's a little lip there. I want to glue these here, making sure they're flush front on both sides. I'll put the little grab handles and stuff on them later, but I just want to get those in place and then set this on and get the angles right, and then let these dry. So let's see if we can get that accomplished. I think that might have jumped off. Yeah, it's not sitting. The pins are really tiny. Okay, let's see what we can do here. This is going to be kind of a multi-step process. These go with the widest part to the front. So that's the far side. This is the driver's side. So we'll go here. Let's see if we can't keep things on camera. So we'll put this right here, and I'll just have to hold it until it's somewhat dry, and then we'll maneuver it. There are a couple of ejector pins in there. I may fill them later. I haven't decided yet. Actually, they were those big old Z pins that I just broke off. And the widest part goes to the front, and this lip goes down. We want to make sure that the front edge of this is even. Kind of like that. Okay. That's the idea. I want to make this removable. Okay, let's do the other side, and then we'll just set it on there and give it some time and let it dry. Want to make sure it's flush to the front. Okay. Okay, that's the way that goes. Not quite in place there. Okay, well, that's barely touching. Let's a little more glue. And I don't want to glue the hood down. I want to have it to where I can remove it. Okay. See if we can get our angle about right, and then just leave it alone for a while. So sit here. about like that. Whoop. There's no positive locating point for this. It just sits on the frame. So it's not really a good deal. Try this again. This goes here, so we have an exact location for that. And this goes here. And then I want this to go here. Okay, we'll get it. Okay, that sits like that. And that like that. Okay. It sits to the inside a little more than I thought it should. There we go. Now we're talking. At least I thought we were. Let's see here. I don't want to attach anything permanently. Until I get some painting done. This will fit here. That fits real well. Maybe I should tape that on there. And that'll sit there. Okay, we're good. That's what I want. Okay. We're going to leave this alone and let everything dry. And then I'm going to come back and we've got these to fit underneath. And then they will be permanently glued to the radiator and to the frame, or to the firewall. I should have done these first, but I think we're going to be okay. All right, I'm going to give this a while, and I'll see you in a little bit. Thanks. Okay, this is pretty firm now. It's been a little while. I think it's good to set aside. I might do something with those ejector pin marks. I'm not sure yet. Anyway, what I want to do now is I want to fit these lower ones. They'll be down here. Let me grab a tweezer. They'll go down here. And they're going to be glued into place. Now if everything works out when I glue these into place, then that other part should sit down over it with no problem. We can hope. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. This is going to be a little tricky because the locating places are extremely small. There's just this little bit of an edge here. And I want to make sure I get these in just the right spot. Okay. Just hold that for a minute and let it firm up. Okay. This cutout right here in this one is for the steering. The cutout back here is for the engine mount. Okay, it's kind of firming up. I didn't put much glue on it because the place is very tiny. Okay, let's see about this side. This way. it just right at the corner. This is going to have to be fairly solid because the majority of the weight of the fenders is going to be carried on this. I know you can't really see. That's basically where we're at. Okay, that'll firm up a little bit pretty quick, and then this is going to go here, and once again we've got very, very small mounting point. Very small. Let's see what I can do here. Move that back a little bit. That's going to go right on this edge. We're supposed to be having about a 70% eclipse here in just a little while. This is going to be really tricky. It's going to fall apart on me. Yep. To give it just a minute. Then I'll have to set it on the. I'll have to set the hood on and set it on the frame to make sure we're all straight. That's the only attachment points we've got. Okay. So this should square it. Whoa, be careful. Sorry. This should square it. I can get that to sit on there. There you go. That's what I wanted. Everything fits really nice. Now if we can get it on the chassis, just to give it a, that's really soft. Okay. Really soft. Okay, we'll give it just a couple minutes. I'll be right back, guys, and then we'll set it up on there and check the fit. Thanks. Okay, it's still really soft, but I want to get it on the frame just to make sure everything fits okay. So let's see what we can do. I've set the engine into place. There's the hood. If we could get this to set where I want it, and then we're going to just leave it alone for a while. There's a couple of pins that's supposed to go in. Okay, that's in. And the motor mount's all clear. The radiator hose is where it's supposed to be. I'm trying to see if this is centered, which it looks like it is. Boy, that's delicate. Okay. That's all centered. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Okay, so I'll be able to lift the hood off and on to show the engine, and this will set over the whole thing. so. All looks nice and square. Okay, I'm going to leave it alone, and I'm not going to breathe on it for quite a while. Okay, I'll put a few pictures up, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll talk to you soon, okay? Bye-bye.